And here we are.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
I'm Samuel Sherwood Huntington. That's my born name.
Yes, Sam Huntington from Sci-Fi's Being Human, one of the stars actually. And Sam, you play the werewolf.
I do.
Okay.
Josh.
Josh.
Josh, the reluctant werewolf.
And how would you describe Josh rather than reluctant?
He's, you know, in season 1 he had a lot of, he was very dynamic. He had a lot of growth. So he kind of started the season and he was terrified of who he was and what he'd become. And throughout the season he kind of learned to, he still hates himself, but he learned to accept it at least. So I feel like going into season 2 there's a lot of stuff yet to explore.
Very cool.
Yeah,
and did you ever expect to do anything for the Sci-Fi Channel? This is the first project for them, right?
Yeah. You know, you're an actor, so you know it's like kind of you just hope for the best job.
Sure.
And this one presented itself, and it was immediately obvious that it was something that must be done.
And what do you think of your cast members?
Oh, I loathe them. Love them. Love them. No, they're like my favorite people in the world. They're like.
So the chemistry on set is really good.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
How would you explain this to be different than the other shows that you've done?
Well, I haven't done a lot of TV. I've done a lot of
film,
movies.
Right?
Yeah. And so in that regard, you know, television is a wildly different beast altogether because you get to spend a lot more time being the character and developing the character, and I'm very lucky because this is a character that I love. So I feel like this is a lot more like school other than summer camp. Does that make any sense?
Sure. I can relate to that.
Yeah,
I can relate to that.
So it's been awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so what can we expect for season 2?
Well, like I said, all of us had a lot of growth in the first season. I think that we were all kind of where we pick up is a very interesting spot, and I don't want to give anything away. I've only read a little bit, but what I've read is they've thought of the coolest stuff you could possibly do within our supernatural worlds, each individually, and they've exercised it. So it's bizarre and amazing and terrifying and funny and all the stuff that was in season 1 only amplified. It's like season 1 on crack.
Wow.
Yeah, season 2.
Last question for you, sir.
Yes, talk to me.
What was my question?
I don't remember. I have no idea.
Yeah, why didn't you remember it?
I'm so sorry, Cody.
You started your career fairly young.
Yes.
And did you feel the transition has been difficult? Are you glad you started that young? Do you recommend it to any up-and-coming actors or parents of up-and-coming actors?
I was really lucky because I grew up in a place that every time I thought I was getting, you know, cool, I would go back to my hometown and everyone would break me back down the sides. And also the other thing is, when I was a kid, I loved to act, you know, and so for me, it was just having fun. It wasn't a job, you know what I mean? I always just took it as something that was extracurricular that I did. You know, life was first, and this was my job, or this is what I did for fun. And so it was I never had that pressure. And I think a lot of kids do, and so I think it's on the parent to support the kid in whatever they want to do. In that case, you know, that's great. If they want to be an actor, that's fantastic. But to not make it the priority in life.
That's pretty cool. Honestly, I think that's awesome advice. Last question for me is, did you actually see Almighty Thor?
I didn't see Almighty Thor. I didn't see it. When did it air, by the way?
May 7th.
May 7th. I didn't see it.
Well, hey.
I'm sorry, man.
Hey, it's cool.
I feel terrible.
I'm definitely going to be tuning in for your stuff.
Please do.
So hopefully I can make you feel a little bit worse than you do now.
I guarantee you will. I have a very guilty conscience, so already I'm going to lose sleep tonight. Cody, really nice to meet you, man.
Absolutely.